For our sample problem 2, we have dx over dy is equal to x over y plus x to the 9th power. Okay, so this is a Bernoulli. Kung yung mapansin, yung form is dx over dy, not dy over dx. So kung ang dy over dx, we have the dy over dx plus y p of x is equal to y to the n q of x. So for dx over dy, sumura na siya mabali, that is equal to plus x times p of y is equal to x to the n q of y. So yes, q of y. So ato ang independent variable here is the y. Sa ato pa, kuhaon na to si p of y o si q of y. So asa may x diri nga walay raised to the power, that is this one sa ato pa, then we have this one as our p of x. So ato i-rewrite, we have the d of x over dy. So this is positive man nga x over y. So kung ato siya ipasulod here, ako lagyan po siya i-plus for x times negative 1 over y is equal to, here we have the x to the 9th times pila mo si q of x. Q of y. So itong q of y here is 1. So di lang na siya ginapakita, but our q of y here is just 1. Okay, so muna ito ang first step, transforming into standard form. Next step, unsay next step na to? We get rid of x to the n. So unsa man nato pag get rid ani para mahimo siyang standard form in the first order linear differential equation para mawala yung pagka-Bernoulli. So we multiply the whole equation with what? So we multiply the whole equation with just the same base x, but with a negative exponent, so that is times x raised to negative 9. Then distributing this to the whole equation, then we will have a x raised to negative 9 dx over dy plus x times x to the negative 9 times negative 1 over y is equal to this becomes is equal to 1. So simplifying this further, this becomes x raised to the negative 8. So we have x to the negative raised to the negative 9 times dx over dy plus x raised to negative 8 times negative 1 over y is equal to 1. Okay, importante ha nga ato ang pagsulat sa equation is that naka-numerator ni si x, kaning dependent variables nato. So after transforming this in this equation, unsay sunod nato buhaton? So if you remember, we substitute variables. So let z is equal to kaning abay ni p of x, which is x to the negative 8. So x to the negative 8. So ato pong derivative there with respect to c is equal to negative 8 x to the negative 9 dx. So this is just by power rule, no? So negative 8 mo ni siya, and then x raised to negative 8 minus 1, this became negative 9. Again, this side here looks similar here. So mag-substitute na punta, then we can come up that dz over negative 8 is equal to x to the negative 9 dx. So kani siya, gikan lang ni siya ani sa ibabaw, this one. So ato i-substitute si x to the negative 9 dx here, then we can obtain 1 over negative 8 times dz over dy plus, so si x to the negative 8 is already, we made this into z. So this becomes z times negative 1 over y is equal to 1. Para mahimo na gid siyang first order linear differential equation sa form, then ato ang walaon ni ang abay ni dz over dy nga si negative 1 over negative 8. So multiplying the whole equation with negative 8, then this becomes dz over dy. So plus lang yapon ni plus z. Ang kaning negative diri lang nato i-apply sa sulod. So negative 1 over y times negative 8. So negative times a negative, that becomes a positive. So this becomes 8 over y is equal to negative 8. So we already have a first order linear differential equation. So this one is equation of z. So next na to button, then we get now the integrating factor. Okay. So after we get transform the equation into standard form, atong i-multiply ang whole equation sa katong x raised to n, di ba, if you remember? And then, so kani siya, i-multiply na, we get rid of this x sa q of x nga part. And then, pag get rid na to, we substitute z sa katong abay ni p of x, which is this one. And then, we get the derivative of z. So, natin relationship here nga nabuo, atong gisubstitute dire. And then, now, ato ang gibuhat is from kuano, so naa naman tayo first order linear differential equation nga nabuhat, dz over dy plus z times 8 over y equals to negative 8. Then, sa sunod na buhaton, we get the integrating factor. So, here, that is I of y. So, the integrating factor is just equal to e raised to the integral of p r of y dy. So, if you remember, mo ni si p of y, and then this is the q of y. So, ato lang ni substitute here, we have 8 over y dy. This is equal to e to the 8 ln y. So, by laws of the natural logarithm, so, diba, if you remember, natay katong, if natay a times ln x, so this becomes ln x raised to a. So, this equation becomes e to the ln y to the 8th power. Since the exponential function and the natural logarithmic function are inverse, so mura na siyang makancel, then therefore, our integrating factor I of y is just equal to y to the 8th power. Sa may pagkahuman na to baton, again, we multiply the integrating factor sa whole equation. So we have y to the 8 times dz over dy plus z times 8 over y is equal to, on this side both, negative 8 times y to the 8. So again, on this side, pwede na to siya ma-transform, masulat into derivative of z, so this one, times the integrating factor y to the 8th power, which is equal to negative 8 y to the 8th power. So integrating both sides, the left and the right hand side. So this is a derivative and this is the antiderivative, the integral. So mura ni siyang ma-cancel. Then we can write on the left hand side as z times y to the 8th power is equal to, so integral ani, so this is with respect to y. So this is just equal to negative 8 y to the 8 plus 1 over 8 plus 1 plus c. Then z y to the 8 is equal to negative 8 over 9 times y to the 9 plus c. So again, atong i-substitute balik si z. So if you remember, si z nato, that is just equal to x to the negative 8. So this becomes x to the negative 8 times y to the 8 is just equal to negative 8 over 9 y to the 9 plus c. So this is our general solution for this particular differential equation. So imo katingala nga nung lahi sa module, it is because naagya po yung nasipyat ani sa given nga module.